You are probably familiar with the term stoicism. To remove any doubts, the Stoics basically believed that they should be the masters of their own minds in order to be the masters of the outer world. In other words, pursuing the inner wins instead of the real world wins. Because they realized that the only way to actually change what's out there is to change our perception of what's out there. They even got a lot of criticism for this just being a coping mechanism and us not actually being able to change anything from the world because we are just small and insignificant. But their philosophy hits hard. It's the best known one in the world of self-improvement, philosophy, psychology, and that's because it works. Talking about socializing, the way to become better at socializing is to rewire our brains in order to understand that the world is not so hostile and the world doesn't reject us for who we really are. So the way out of this is to get feedback from the world and to understand that the world is accepting us for who we really are. And that strategy works, but there is a better solution, there is an easier solution that's based on stoicism. The ideal is that you don't even care what other people think of you, because the Stoics were right. You cannot change what's out there, you can only change how you perceive it. So even if you end up getting the best feedback from the world, from the situations, you are a slave to the situations. The way to be the master of it is to do the work inside your mind, to rewire your brain yourself independently of the outside world and of other people's feedback, to destroy your beliefs, to replace them with better ones, with ones that serve you, and to become grounded in yourself, to craft that strong self-image. And then the feedback from the world just becomes information. Oh, you are the coolest person in the room. And you're like, okay, thank you, but I'm still me. Or you are the most boring person I've ever talked to. I can't even believe you were invited here. Well, okay, I appreciate your opinion, but I'm still me. Feedback just becomes useful information, or not even useful. If you still choose to pursue this by doing exposure therapy or mindful exposure therapy, it shouldn't be focused outwards, like getting other people to react in that way, but actually inwards, to conquer your mind. Because you encounter resistance, and when you are changing your self-image, updating your beliefs, and rewiring your brain, that should be the main focus, changing what's inside, not changing what's outside. It should not be a pursuit of how the world reacts to you, but how you react to the world, and actually becoming proactive, so not reacting to the world. That would be the ideal. Because it's not about them here, it's about you. People's feedback should not influence your self-worth. You should not feel like a better person or a worse person if you get praised or critiqued. The only influence feedback should have on you is in specific skills, in niche skills. But at the core, you should remain confident, regardless of the circumstances, regardless of the feedback. So let's say you are learning a new sport, you are practicing a new sport, and someone comes and either praises you or critiques you for how you actually done the action. That is useful feedback that will help you improve at your skill in that specific sport. But there is no such thing as the skill of being you. Because being you is binary, it's black or white, you are either yourself or you are not. This also leads to another big mistake people do, which is coping, not accepting the reality. And this goes against the principles of Stoicism again. You have to accept the raw truths and move on from there. Accept reality completely. Now, you shouldn't necessarily be happy with everything that happens. Like, yeah, oh my god, I lost $10,000. That's not something to be happy about, but you should accept it completely and then move on from there. When you feel uncomfortable sensations, it might be a sign that you are resisting, you are struggling to resist reality. And whatever you resist persists, as Carl Jung said. And this is a core fundamental principle of the practice of letting go, which is again the cornerstone to getting to self-mastery. And the idea is to just relax into the sensations, embrace the uncomfortability, and they will fade away soon. After they fade away, you are free. Because the only constraints you have in every single situation are the ones you have in your mind. You set them yourself, and you have the power to let go of them, to detach from them, to focus your attention outwards, like what can I do from now on, and to just disregard the past, let go of it, detach completely. Now, this sounds less sexy than going out there and getting great feedback from the world, being the coolest person in the room, but this is the only way you reach self mastery, being independent from anyone else. Because as long as you need feedback from the world, you are just a slave. But your mind needs autonomy to thrive.